Hello, we're going to go over how to solve proportions using cross multiplication. This is a review that we are doing in preparation for our similar triangles unit, which we'll be starting next. So I'm going to be solving problems down the left-hand side of this sheet, which you should already have. You should be writing this down as we go, and then you will be asked to complete the problems on the right-hand side of your sheet independently and turn it in. So please make sure that you're taking notes as we go and you're prepared to complete the problems on the right-hand side independently. So when we're doing cross multiplication, the way that we know that we need to use cross multiplication is when you see a top and a bottom on the left and a top and a bottom on the right. A fraction equal to another fraction. Cross multiplication is called that because when we multiply going across the equal sign from the bottom to the top, I take a bottom and a top of 1 and I write it on this side. 2 times x, I'm multiplying, is 2 x's. And then I say that's going to be equal to the other one, and I need the other pair of top and bottom. See how it kind of makes butterfly wings? Sometimes people call it the butterfly method, or you can see how it makes an X. Then I have 4 times 7 on this side. Okay. So 2 times x we already know is 2 x's, and we know that that's equal to 4 times 7, which is 28. Once we've simplified, we just need to solve the equations. We're dividing by 2 on both sides, giving us x must be equal to 14. Now let's try it with more than one value associated with the x. So this one is very similar, but you can see there's one difference. Do you see how the x this time has a number with it? All of these are a single term, except for this one with the x in it. Whenever you see something that has more than one term, has 2 or more terms in it, the very first thing that you need to do is put parentheses around it. You'll see why in a minute, but the parentheses are going to be important. Now I know it's a fraction equals a fraction, so I need to cross multiply. It doesn't matter which way you start, so let's try going the opposite way this time. I'm going to go top to bottom here. You'll see that I usually like to put the x as the first one I circle. So do you see how we have the x minus 1 in parentheses and then 19 here? Remember, a single number will always go in front of parentheses. So I have 19 in front of my parentheses of x minus 1. Now that should look a little more familiar. We put the parentheses there because this number in the front, since there's more than one value, is going to need to be distributed. Okay? That's going to be equal to our other wing, or our other part of the cross, of 6 times 13. Okay? So is equal to 6 times 13. And I'm just putting this in parentheses to show you that that's what I'm doing here. I'm multiplying 6 times 13. Okay? So now that I have a value in parentheses in front of our x, I'm going to distribute. I have to do 19 times x, which is 19 x's, and I need to multiply that 19 by that negative 1, negative 19, which is going to be equal to, on this side, 78. So we've simplified both sides. Now we just need to solve the equation. It's a two-step equation. You should remember how to do this. Okay. Remember that we're going to be adding 19 to both sides, adding 19 to both sides, which cancels it out from this side, leaving us with 19x is equal to 97. Our last step should be to divide by 19 on both sides. Divide by 19 on both sides. I've lost a little bit of room here. If we put this on our calculators, you'll notice that we're not going to get an even value, and that's okay. We're just going to leave this as x is equal to 97 divided by 19. We can leave it as a fraction or as a proportion, and it is perfectly fine. Okay. You might want to pause the video at this point and try the next one on your own, and then check with me as I show you your answer. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to give this one a shot by yourself. Your first step should have been to notice that you had more than one term here and put it in parentheses. I'm going to start with my x, and I'm going to go from, since it's in the bottom, I'm going to go to the top so that I have the x's on the left-hand side, just for convenience. The single lady always goes out front. Always put the single number first. 2x minus 9 in parentheses next to that, so that we're prepared for our distribution. Then we have 9 times 10 as our other half of our equation equals 9 times 10, which is 90. When you distribute it, 20 times 2 should give you 40 x's, and 20 times negative 9 should give you negative 180, and that's equal to 90. Okay. Then we would add 180 to both sides, and that leaves us with 40x, or excuse me, that should be a 40. 40x is equal to 270. Then we can divide by the 40 in front of the x. That goes away. And this doesn't simplify perfectly, but I can cross off these zeros and say that x is equal to 27 over 4. And when we're using proportions, and we're going to be using them a lot in similar figures, it's easier to keep this as a fraction than as a decimal. Let's do one more together. This one has two groups of x's in it. Doesn't matter where you see the group of x's. If it has two terms, it needs to be in parentheses. This one is just a single x. It doesn't have to be in parentheses because we're not going to be distributing. Now, since we have two groups of x's here, it doesn't matter which one I start with. I'm just going to go x and 10, which is 10 times x, 10 x's. And then on my other side, I'm going to say that that has to be equal to x plus 6 times 7. Remember, I take the single value and put it in front of the numbers with parentheses. If it has parentheses, I need to write it out like this so I can do our distribution. Make this a little darker for you. Alright, so now we're going to distribute. I still have 10 x's on this side, but when I distribute, I get 7 times x, or 7 x's, and 7 times 6, which is 42. Okay. And now we just need to get rid of some of the x's, and to do that we combine them by moving this group over to this side. We're going to subtract 7 x's from both sides. That removes them from the right, combines them all into one group on the left, leaving us with 3x is equal to 42. So this leads us to our last step, which is always going to be dividing by the coefficient in front of x. Divide by 42 by 3 on both sides, and we get x is equal to 14. So this time it worked out into a whole number, but as you can see from the answers above, that will not always be the case. So please take your time now to go through and use each of these as an example on how to do these problems that are right to the right next to it, and make sure that you have turned them in when they're done. Thank you.